Well, I had a feeling that I knew where the copyright issues came from, and I was right. It was all the memes and sound effects I was using in the beginning of my intro. So now I may not do that anymore. Maybe. I don't know. But now I know what's the reasons why I'm getting copyright issues. Still gonna hit y'all with the fire outros, but dang, that sucks. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. It's Master J15, and we are talking about the NBA part number 4. Yes, I have the same clothes on. This is the same day. This is about 7 hours after I uploaded the first video. By the way, go check that out. Like, comment, subscribe. And this is about 8, 9 hours after me recording it. So yes, it's the same outfit and everything. Got another hat though. Shout out to Amazon, kind of, sorta. But anyway, we are going to be talking about the Western Conference. We did the East. The first 3 videos, all about the East. And today we're going to be talking about the Southwest Division, home of the Dallas Mavericks, Memphis Grizzlies, New Orleans Pelicans, Houston Rockets, and the San Antonio Spurs. So this is a you got two teams that are just terrible. You got one team that's, to me, is a championship level team. You got a team who has a superstar player, but probably won't ever win a championship because that's all they have. And then the Pelicans are a championship level team. They just have to. There's just a couple of things they just got to get together, but I think they're up there too. So yeah, two contenders, a mid team, and two terrible teams. So it's a pretty even division right now. So let's get into it, guys. All right, guys. So the first team we're going to talk about is the number one team in the division, that being the Memphis Grizzlies. The Memphis Grizzlies are really playing good basketball, and it's really weird because it's not weird because when they were good back in the mid 2010s, they were about grit and grind defense. They were about they were about defense and just playing hard. And they play hard. These guys do play hard, but I think it's more on the edge of them being underdogs and playing, but also playing like they've been here for a while. The Grizzlies are confident. Ja Morant is that dude. Like, he is that dude. And Desmond Bain, he is right. Well, he's not right. I want to say he's not right, but he's the perfect duo partner in the backcourt for Morant. Dylan Brooks is amazing. Jaren Jackson Jr. is great as well. Steven Adams is great. Their starting lineup is solid, and then they got a pretty good bench as well. So overall, they just play great. They play together, and they play great team basketball. And it just seems like when you watch them, everybody is having fun. Everybody just wants to win, and that's the best part about basketball, is playing beautiful basketball and just wanting to win. And that's the Grizzlies right now. So I think they can win the championship. Um, I think realistically, the way the West is looking now, I think the only team that's really in their way from getting to that goal is the Nuggets. And then of course you got a slew of teams in the East that could prevent that from happening. But they're right up there. They are definitely a top 10 team in the NBA. You could argue that they're a top 5 team in the NBA. So they are playing really good basketball, and they, I want to tell them to keep it up, but I know that they're going to play well all year. They're probably going to win about 55 plus games, and they're going to be right there with Denver the whole season for first place. So Memphis, just keep it up, keep playing, y'all, and just continue to be confident. You guys will be there, and the championship is not too far away. So you guys got it. Speaking of great starting lineups, let's talk about the New Orleans Pelicans. Now, the Pelicans they're right now they're a really good team, and with this roster they have now with Zion, Brandon Ingram, C.J. McCollum, Jonas Valanciunas, Herb Jones, Jose Alvarado off the bench. No, Jose Alvarado, I believe his name, off the bench. Um, and again, a slew of other guys. This team is, like I said, if they can mesh together and Zion plays a superstar potential, and then you got Ingram who can also play up to a superstar potential. But I think with Zion being on the team, I think he can only be maybe like an all-star. And then CJ's been in the league for a while, so CJ knows. CJ is not. CJ, he's used to not being the best player on the team. Like I said, he played with Lillard for years, so he'll he could shoot. So he's a guy who doesn't need the ball all the time. You got Jonas Valanciunas, who has proven that he can be a solid option at the center position, shooting and down in the post. Herbert Jones is an athletic freak. He can shoot the three. His defense is impeccable. So with Mr. Grand Theft Alvarado, making himself really known in the playoffs against Chris Paul the previous season, and he's been playing good this year. So they're playing really good basketball. My only concern about the Pelicans is just health. Like I said, we haven't seen Zion in about, I think, 2 weeks. We haven't seen Brandon Ingram since November, so we haven't seen him in almost 2 months. CJ's out there, Jonas out there, but a CJ and Valanciunas led team, that's not going to be enough to keep them where they are right now. They're number 3 in the West. That's not going to keep them in third in the West, because despite there being a lot of disappointing teams in the West, it's still a lot of clutter. So if the Hornets mess around, they're going like a 3, 4, 5, 6 game losing streak. They're right there, they're right there with the others. So they just got to get healthy, and if they do, they are hard to beat, because like I said, when they all play, it's shown. The numbers show that they are hard to beat. So just get healthy, and then let's really see them. Let's really see them in the playoffs. I want to see them play a Nuggets team and a Memphis team, healthy. Other teams like Golden State, the Clippers, if they get it together. Those teams, I really want to see them play up against those upper echelon teams, because they have a chance of beating them and getting to a championship realistically. So it just depends on health, particularly Zion's health. Ingram is number 2, but Zion has to stay healthy. I think this is probably the healthiest he's been all year, but he's been out for like a few weeks, about 2 weeks or so, and then of course Ingram. So please, those two in particular, get healthy. CJ and Valanciunas, please stay healthy, and let's really get things started. Let's get to the playoffs. Let's see how they're going to play in the playoffs. I think with their injuries, I can't really tell how many games they'll win. I want to say they'll win at least 50, but then again, the injuries. So I'll stay safe, and I'll say around, and they're going to get at least 45, but it'll be more in like the 48, 49, 50 wins. So, but if they do get 50s, I won't be surprised. They're an excellent team. So, yeah, Pelicans, please keep playing good, get healthy, and we'll see you guys in the playoffs. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about the Dallas Mavericks. The Dallas Mavericks are like I said in the intro, they're a team that, with the way they're structured now, they'll never win a championship. Yeah, they could probably get their way into the playoffs. They could probably win 45 to 50 games, maybe even more, but I don't think they'll ever win the playoffs. I think last year going up against Golden State proved that, because, Luka was amazing himself, but Golden State just had too many people that played well, and that's a recipe for not to make the playoff, to not get to the finals, just the way they're structured. Luka's amazing. Luka's going to get 30 points. He's going to get a triple-double. He's going to do all of that. But he clearly needs help, and I hope Dallas does get him that help. And then also, just the thing with Luka is that, I heard a stat, that, for example, apparently 90% of his shots are not, 90% of his shots are just shots that he gets on his own, like isolation, basically shots that doesn't get the other person an assist, basically unassisted shots, basically. And he's light years ahead of everybody else. I think the second place, their percentage is only 60 or 50%, which is crazy. And and in a way that is impressive, because Luka, since he's so ISO heavy, and teams know that he goes ISO heavy, he still can score. That just tells you how deep his bag is. But I just think that Charles Barkley was saying correct, that he needs to work off the ball more, try to find some easy shots, and also they're one of the slowest paced teams in the league. They got to speed things up. I think against the Lakers last week, they did win that game, but I think they only scored 8 fast break points total the whole game, which is impossible It's incredible that they only scored 8 because especially with how things are so fast paced now, it was surprising that only happened. But in terms of how they're playing now, I mean, in a way, I'm not surprised that they're like a few games over 500. Like I said, Luka is incredible. He had that 60, 20, and 10 game. He's putting up my career stats. So he's playing amazing. And like I said, and you could do a whole lot worse than the Spencer Dinwiddie, Christian Wood. That's probably another brother that I'm missing. That's probably another one that I'm missing. Tim Hardaway. Yeah, Tim Hardaway, those are the three. You can do a lot worse than that, but those three aren't all-stars. They're not going to get you to that championship level. He needs another all-star caliber player. Once they get that, they'll be fine. And they had that in KP, but I guess KP was complaining about that the shot distributions that he was getting, and I guess Luka would just be unselfish, and they had that, and I guess I don't know why they traded KP away because it looked like he was getting more shots. Because I was in the first season he was in, then the next season he was getting more shots. He was averaging like 20 points a game. So I don't know what was going on there, but yeah, Dallas just has to be able to figure it out with Luka and how he can become better off ball, how they can just play faster, and am I missing something? Off ball, playing faster, and I think that's it. Oh, getting them another all-star caliber player. They do that, they're fine. They're good. They're a playoff. They're a championship level team, and they can do those things. But in terms of record wise, I don't think they'll get 50 wins. I think they should get 45. They'll probably get to right at 45, maybe 46, and they'll be right there, like in the 5th or 6th spot, depending on how the rest of these teams play. Like if Golden State and Phoenix and the Clippers just continue to underachieve the whole year, yeah, they'll be right there in the top 6. But in terms of playoff success, I don't see them beating the Memphis or Denver. Even a healthy New Orleans, I don't see that happening. So yes, just please Dallas get Luka co-star, and Luka, please work on those things. Let us work on off the ball, and then once it happens, I think Dallas will be fine. They will be a championship level team. But right now they're just kind of just mid, just they're there. Luka's keeping them afloat basically. So yeah, that's the Mavericks. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to talk about the San Antonio Spurs. For those of you who don't know, I'm a Spurs fan. I'm a huge Spurs fan. I've been there to witness and watching the 2014 NBA championship. I've gone back and seen how they've been able to win championships in 99, 03, 05, 07. And like the Spurs just had 20 years of just straight excellence. And seeing just the way they've been playing now, just the fact that they're just not a good team, it hurts. It really does hurt. It really hurts. It's not something I'm used to. So I actually became a Spurs fan because of back in 2013 they lost to the Heat in that crusher in Game 6, and then I came back, kept watching them, and just to see their journey back to the finals, and they crushed the Heat. So since then, I've just been a Spurs fan, and I've been a huge Kawhi fan as well. But the Spurs right now, honestly, the Spurs just aren't talented enough. They're just not talented. Oh God, Keldon Johnson. I forget the other brother's name. They have someone that's, I think, their second best player. He's injured. They still got like Josh Richardson. They got the one brother on the team who thinks he Dennis Rodman. That was weird. But I don't know. The Spurs just aren't talented enough. They have one of the worst defenses in the league. So it's just like it's like anybody can score on them. And then Greg Popovich is still on the team coaching, just old on the sideline, just yelling, still getting ejected. Back then it looked cool, but now they're just terrible. So they're terrible now. So it's like I don't know. But the question can be asked, like, is his coaching style like the way is that out of style now? And I say no, because I think with the right coaching and the right mindset, a player can become a great player. And that's what the Spurs have been able to do. They did it for 20 years. there's no way it can't continue now. So, but like I said, just from a talent perspective, the Spurs just aren't as good as the other teams. And once they start to draft that type of talent, or when guys start to develop, then guys get there. Like I said, Dejounte Murray is another piece who's been developing. He's a 20-point near triple double machine. Cody Johnson, again, who he's developing under the Spurs. So whether he stays there or not, he's going to be a valuable piece to the Spurs or to another team if he gets to the point that he leaves or not. So that's the Spurs. For record wise, I think they only have like 14 wins now. So I mean, honestly, I don't think the Spurs will lose 60 games this year. They'll definitely would lose 50. So if they could get over 25, if they honestly if they could get to 30 wins, I think that's a decent season. But then again, they did make the playoff. They did make the play. They did make the play last year. So that actually would not be good for them. From the way they're playing, if they get to 30 wins, it actually would be pretty not bad. But anyway, if they get to like 30 wins, I think it'd be an alright season. But yeah, they're just not talented. They're just not as talented as the other teams. That's just what it comes down to. So Spurs just continue to draft people and get people for agency, and if they can do that, the Spurs can be right back where they were. So it's gonna take a lot, but they can get there. They can get there. The Spurs organization can do it. So I'm trusting you guys. Please do it. I want to see the Spurs win another championship, please. And last but not least, let's talk about the Houston Rockets. I believe, if I'm correct, we talked about how terrible the Hornets are. By the way, LaMelo Ball got injured again, an ankle injury. So now the Hornets are really deep in the tank. They're probably gonna lose 60 games now, probably 65. They can get really bad. But anyway, I think percentage-wise, the Rockets are the worst team in the league. I think the Rockets are only at 10 wins, and they have like 37 losses. It's not good. It's not good for them. But again, like you said, but you know, they got decent pieces. They got good pieces. Jalen Green, Kevin Porter Jr., their center, I forget his name, Shogun, his name is. He's low-key a triple-double machine. He doesn't score a lot, but he can get rebounds, he can get dimes. So the Rockets, they got something. Jalen Green can really become he could really become like maybe like a Dwayne Wade type of player. Maybe not to his fullest extent, but because Jalen Green's not a great shooter, but he can get to the rim. He can attack the rim fast and quickly. And I think also just over time, he'll build himself up. Like, he's real small. He'll build himself up. He'll get to he'll get to that NBA size. Because like Steph Curry, remember, he was small back in like 09 or 10, 11. And look at him now. He's like, dude's like built. So he'll get there. Kevin Porter Jr., he's always been a good piece. I don't think to me, he's not a superstar level. He won't ever be a superstar level guy. He could get to like an all-star level type. And he's not even there yet, but he definitely could elevate his game. And then Sugar, he has a lot of potential too. Like, he has a lot of potential as well. Like, honestly, like, I won't be surprised if someone in the future, like later on the season or next season, they try to look for Shugon to get more touches. Now, they won't go away from Green. I think Jalen Green will be their best scorer, but I think Shugon will be their second best player. He's going to be the guy who's going to be handling the ball, getting assists, getting rebounds. He's going to be like Jokic. So the Rockets got a team. They just have to of course, keep getting pieces in the draft and then bring some decent guys in. They still got Eric Gordon, which I firmly believe he should be traded because he still proves he can play, and he could be a role player that if another team got, it could probably push them to that next level possibly, because he is still a very solid role player. But yeah, Houston's just going to they're going to be bad for the rest of the year, and they're just building for the future. And I'm really excited for the future because those three guys can really play. And like I said, depending on who they get, and I think right now they're like I said, they will have If it was an NFL, they would have the number 1 pick automatically, and they would just draft Wabanabe, whatever his name is, and they'd be right there. So then after that, just be all about just developing guys. So yeah, they definitely will be um, good in the future. So for right now, just continue just developing those guys, and yeah, y'all gonna lose, but it's whatever. In terms of winning, like I said, they probably won't even eclipse 25 wins this season. They're probably gonna lose 60 games. They could get to 20 wins, but that's probably about it. No more than that. No more than 25 wins. But they're gonna be in the bad team. But the Hornets probably could end up being worse, which is a damning statement. So yes, that is the Houston Rockets. Continue to get better, ready your players, and draft that one more piece in the draft to get you guys to the next level. So here we go. That's the Rockets. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is the video. I just wanted to thank you all for once again watching this video, showing support. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, do you guys like the way the setting looks? Do you guys like the way the setting looks? Like I said, I'm recording this at night, so it gives the lights more of a shine. It gives the lights more of a shine comparing it during the day. I had on my light in the back, but it was like really bright, so I was like, you know what, this might be a lot of good light. So, and just looking at the video, like it looked good. So I'm gonna do this a lot more often. I'll probably change the colors. I got like a whole wheel of colors I can change to. So next time I'll probably change it to like a different color, maybe like red or blue, whatever. So we'll do something, but I like it. You guys like it? Let me know. And that's the video. Like I said, like, comment, subscribe. Also follow the socials in the description. And yeah, next video is coming tomorrow. It'll probably only be maybe one tomorrow, and it probably will be during the day, only because I have work that night. So probably one video, and then the 6th video will probably come. What's today? Wednesday. It'll probably come Friday. So we'll probably wrap this whole thing up by Friday, and then this weekend, Saturday, Sunday, and on, we'll get into new stuff. So yeah. So I'm out. Peace.